Alright, so I'm going to build a chicken tractor slash chicken coop slash chicken run. Got a big piece of exterior grade 3/4 inch exterior grade plywood and a small piece of 4x8 exterior grade plywood. I want to say it's a 1/4 inch. Then I've got 10 10-foot 2x4s and 3 10-foot 1x6 treated. I've got a roll of cage wire that is 24 foot tall by 25 foot long and a bunch of exterior screws. And what I'm doing is we're going to make a chicken coop that will sit on top of my raised beds so that we can let them lie fallow. You know, 1 year not grow anything in a particular raised bed, let the chickens poop in it and scratch it in and eat all the weed seeds. The next year we'll move the tractor to the other raised bed and then put the other, grow in the old one. So we'll see what happens. So what I did, right now I'm going to make two 10-foot by 2-foot tall frames for the sides. And so I'm going to take one of these 2x4s and I'm going to cut out 21-inch sections to be the runners in between the top and the bottom plates, right? And they're 21 inches tall because two 2x4s stacked on top of each other is 3 inches. So 3 inches plus 21 inches equals 2 foot. All right, so I took two 10-foot boards and cut out 10 21-foot middle pieces, stringers I think they're called. And that gave me two little short pieces. So each one gave me 5 21-inch boards and then a little left over. Okay. The next thing I did is I cut these 10-foot 2x4s, cut the little off at the ends to make them all truly 10 foot long. And then I came in and marked where I'm going to put the cross pieces. So I'm going to have a 24-inch or 2 foot deep nesting area, and then one post on each side. And so I've marked out 2 more in the middle at 32 inches. So the math worked out to be, I'm going to put a 2x4 at the end, a 2x4 at 24 inches, one at 56 inches, one at 88 inches, and then one down at the bottom. Okay. To prevent splitting and to make this go a lot easier, I am pre-drilling my screw holes, especially here at the end of the board, because otherwise it'll tend to split. And then once I do that, I'm just taking my screws, and I'm using screws both for holding power and so I could take this out and move it if needed. But it's just easier. So I'm screwing just till the point comes out so that it can bite on my wood. Yeah. Put it together. Alright, I cut 5 more cross pieces, 41 inches across, and that's what the roof is going to sit on. just a little bit. Otherwise this thing will move around. Okay, so I went and thought on the process overnight, come back, and went back, got me a couple of more 2x3s to make roofs and such. And this is what I did. So I cut a 2 foot by 4 foot piece of my thin exterior grade plywood and notched it out and set it in for the back. Cut another 2 foot by 4 foot piece, cut it in half, so I've got two 2 foot by 2 foot squares. Those are going to be the sides at the top. Took what was left, cut a piece here to give me something to put a hinge on. So the piece here, which is going to be about 1 foot by 4 foot, 18 inch by 4 foot, something like that, where I can lift up and clean out underneath the coop. Same thing, I made a piece up here at the top here, which will give me something to hinge to, and then this whole thing will lift up, right? Nesting box up here, it's 1 foot tall. I've got to build it, I'm going to build it out of the thicker plywood, and then I put a couple 1 inch pieces of lath, 1 by 1.5 I think, to have some roofs. Okay, so then I took the big plywood, the big thick plywood, cut out the top, which is going to be living roof. That is 1 foot by, or 2 foot by 4 foot. And then I cut another piece of the thick for the nesting box, which is 1 foot by 4 foot. And then I notched it, or I'm about to notch it here, so it can sit in, right? All right, out of my 3/4 exterior grade wood that I've used in my nest boxes, I cut a 1 foot by 4 foot strip, and then I cut out 4, just cut it in 4 foot length, so I had a 1 foot square. Notched it out for this 2x4. This is where my lip on the front fits in, and then I just angled it a little bit and marked it at 1 inch or 1 foot here, there, and there. And what that does is it makes 4 1 foot nest boxes. So the nest boxes are 1 by 1 by 1, okay? And you need about 1 nest box for about every 4 chickens. So I've got way more than I need, but I ain't complaining. So I'm just gonna put them in like that and nail them in. All right, here we are with the sides on. Got to put the big piece on for the roof, and then I have to put the doors on. So I want to experiment with a living roof, and when you do a living roof, you've got your base, then you have a waterproofing membrane, gravel, dirt, plants, right? And all of that is encapsulated in an open top box that I'm going to build here in a second. Now, people who do this commercially, people that do it for houses, anybody who knows what they're doing says to use pond liner, EPM pond liner, but it's kind of expensive and it takes a while. You got to order it, and I neither have the time nor want to spend the money because I've spent way too much. But what I did have is this very thick underlayment for foundation, and I don't think it's going to work, but this is just a chicken coop and it is an experiment, so if it does not work, then I'm not out much, because I could just pull this piece of plywood off with the other piece of plywood at the other end and replace them and try something else. So what I'm doing is I am stapling one end, and for the purpose of not messing my silicone up yet, I haven't got my silicone out, so I'm not stapling this other end, but I'm just overlaying very dramatically. This is a foot, and I'm only doing about 4 inches. What I'm going to do is I'm going to peel these back and run a bead of silicone and push it down, okay? And since water isn't supposed to stand in this, I hope it will work. And if not, like I said, I'm not really out much. I didn't think you wanted to hear the air compressor, so I went ahead and took the sound off. So all I'm doing here is just stapling one end of my cage wire, rolling it all the way around so I don't have to fight with it. And then I'm going to come back and staple it once I roll it around. Now I'm using cage wire instead of the less expensive chicken wire because I have a neighborhood dog problem and dogs can't get through this, but they can definitely tear right through chicken wire. So I just came in and stapled it up to hold it, and then I went back and stapled it in good and tight later. I need about 4 more bags of gravel and about 6 cubic feet of soil and maybe some mulch, and we're ready to go. I also need to put a latch on the bottom clean out door, but other than that, well, and I need to put a door at the top, but other than that I gotta let the chickens grow out, but it's ready. All right, let's look at it. I don't think my silicone on my underlayment was the best idea, but like I said, it works, and since the water, it's orientated to flow down and the hill is at an angle, at least water won't pool, which is what you want, right? So on your living roof, you've got your underlayment, then you've got gravel for drainage, then you put soil, then you put plants. And I'm thinking about some sort of peas or something that will go up on this chicken wire, which the chickens are going to eat it, but you know, the more they eat, you know, the better. So still have to worry about putting some sort of door on that side and something for my water. I got that 5-gallon bucket water that I like, but have to worry about where to mount it. But other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Why don't you go ahead and share with me and tell me what you think. Thanks.